Hello, what's up, everyone? This is Quite Hopkins back again for another RHCSA lab. And I just want to say just welcome back here. Appreciate all you guys' support, and let's get cracking on this one. So today if you're preparing for RHCSA, and one of the biggest topics is understanding logical volume management, or LVM for short. It's absolutely it's absolutely critical. So you'll definitely get a question on this. Um, so just again, appreciate you guys joining me on this journey. So um, in this video, we're going to walk through a real lab going through for RHCSA kind of style lab. So in this lab, we're going to create physical volumes. We're going to build a volume group. We're going to create logical volumes. We're going to format and mount them. And then we're finally going to extend storage while the system is running. So by the end of this lab, you'll be able to understand how logical volume works in real environments and RHCSA exams. So let's jump in. So, so before we start typing any commands or anything, let's go into the terminal here. Uh, let's go in this text editor real quick. So before we do that, type into commands. So let's talk about why logical volumes exist. So traditional partitions are rigid. So if you create a 10 gigabyte partition and later need, for example, 20 gigabytes, then you're kind of stuck there. So logical LVM solves this by introducing a layer of kind of abstraction. So the architecture kind of looks like this. So so we got a disk, all right, then physical volume, all right, physical uh, volume. I want to spell that, misspell that, physical volume, all right. Then you create a volume group, all right, and a logical volume. And last, you want to create a file system for it. All right, file system. All right. So that's kind of the architectural what in order what how you do this. And these are kind of the key components of it. All right. So let's get out of here. Let's discard. Let's hop in the terminal here. All right. CD into our directory. See where we are. All right, clear. All right. Okay. So one thing to think of it as a physical volume. Think of it equal to equivalent to raw disks. A volume group is more like a storage pool. Um, Logical volume is more flexible partitions. This allows administrators to expand storage without downtime. Um, so let's start building. So as you every last video where we recreated partitions, it's kind of similar in the same sense. So just know what disk we have. So we're gonna look at a familiar command we learned before, lsblk. All right. So if you notice, we have our operating system disk, NVMe 0 and 1. But if you look at the bottom, I created an extra 10 gigabyte disk added to this for the lab. So if you're familiar with this one from the previous video, so both these are 2 gigabyte. They're not mounted to anything, nothing on these. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to going out the first command. We're going to go ahead and create. I'm sorry, I'm speaking too fast here, but let's just say let's start by creating a physical volume. So that's the first thing we want to do. So we're gonna introduce you to a new command. So it's gonna be pvcreate. create. And as we start to do these commands, you're gonna notice kind of a pattern within each of these commands. So if you catch on, let me know. So pvcreate, so /dev, all right, slash n vme 0 n2, all right, and then we're gonna create another one, /dev slash nvme 0 n3, 0 n3. Making sure I have that correct. All right. So do detected on offset white bit. Say yes. All right. So been successfully created. All right. So let's clear. Those have been successfully created. All right. So now, all right. So now next on the list, we want to build. Oh, sorry about that. Let's clear. Next on the list, we want to create a next section, we want to create a volume group. So to create a volume group, you only use the same command. Well, not the same command, but you're going to use vgcreate, kind of similar to pvcreate. So you're going to see a pattern, a lot of these. So we're going to create a volume called vg score nebula. So kind of gave you a kind of space theme or here. So we're going to name it nebula. So then we're going to create that group for the two physical volumes. So this is going to be /dev, all right, slash nvme, yep, and 2, and then /dev slash nvme and 3. All right, volume group has been successfully created. All right, next. So if you want to, so a volume group pretty much combines multiple disks in one large storage pool. So think of it as like a container, and this in four of these multiple disks for these disks. So if we want to verify them, we use the VGS command. So VGS command. All right. So we already have one group for the system, but this is the one we've created down here. So all right. So this shows the VG up here. If you notice the VG name, the number of disks, physical disks. No logical volumes yet. We haven't created those yet. We will. Um, and and then the total space free. So so now you see roughly 20, almost 20 gigs available at almost. So so let's go ahead and create a logical volume. So logical volumes are like virtual partitions carved from the volume group. So what we're going to do another new command. We're going to do lvcreate. lvcreate. All right, lvcreate. Now let's go ahead and explain this command for a minute, but let's go ahead lvcreate, lvcreate. All right. So we're going to use some certain options in here. So we're going to use maybe a few of these. We're going to use this logical extents here option, and we're going to use the name -n option for now. So let's go ahead and quit. All right. So let's go ahead and lvcreate. All right. Dash capital L, logical extents. So we're going to extend that to 4 gigabyte dash N for name. And the name of we're going to name the logical volume, LV underscore logs. All right. And the group, we need to reference the group. So this is going to create this is pulling from the group, the volume group. So we're going to VG underscore nebula. All right. Yes. All right. So logical volume is created. So let's go ahead and do the vgs command. You notice here, the logical volume is showing now. All right. Now we have 2 logical um, volumes inside our volume group. All right. So now, last but not least, we want to create a file system. So before mounting storage, we must create a file system, as similar to what the partition lab we did earlier. So RHCSA pretty much uses XFS by default. So we're going to make the file system. If you can remember how we did that before. So we're going to make fs file system dot, we're going to use a XFS extension. So we're going to use XFS. All right. Then we're going to /dev /nebula. Oh, that wrong. We're going to reference the group. Uh, VG underscore nebula. All right. And then the logical volume. All right. /LV underscore dev. All right. All right. So the device name is required. All right. Is given. All right. So that's good. All right. Hmm. All right. So then we're going to do the same for LV logs. Same thing. All right. Now, I see why. Okay. I know what I did. So we didn't create another one, that one for here. All right. No worries. No worries. So we can do, all right. So it's def. All right. All right. Logic bombs created. So let's go ahead and make that file system for that one. All right. So the file system's created for both of those. All right. Sometimes we miss certain things like that, but just good to make sure. So if you notice, it's kind of not too hard from similar, like different from the partition lab we did. So to me, I found these commands a little more, to me, a little easier because it does have like a certain pattern to them. But I know that, on the exam, you're going to have you're going to have some difficult questions. It's just how they word them. But if you understand the basics and the basics of it and the commands of it, you should be fine. You should be fine. So if you want to verify the logical volumes, let's and verify that they have the file system mounted on them. So you want to use lsblk-f. All right. If you notice here, look at this. The NVM on NVMe N2, the Nebula logical volume, and the Nebula dev. Look, logs in the dev volume. Look, they have XFS mounted on them. So there you go. So that's how you verify that. All right. So, and next we are going to section. We're gonna next couple sections here. We're gonna mount the file system. So, oh, for one more step, what we did, we verified. So we want to create mount points for create mount points. So these directories that I'm going to create will represent application storage locations. So we're going to do mkdir, or use sudo if you're not using root, but mkdir -p for parent / projects / dev. All right, then we're in another one here /logs. Boom, done. All right. So again, these are represent application and storage locations. So let's begin to mount these file systems. So we're going to use another command. You've seen this before. Mount /dev /vg_nebula / we're going to point to logical volume LV underscore oh underscore dev, and then we're going to point it. We're going to mount it to the new directory we just created /projects / dev. Boom. All right. Let's do the other one. We're going to change this up a little bit. So just going to go here. Just change this to, you don't feel like doing a lot of typing, so just change this to logs. All right. And then we're going to point this to the logs directory here. Oh, not dogs, logs. Okay. All right. Done that. So let's check. So remember, so to verify this, so we're going to use df -h. All right. So if you noticed here, look at the file, the logical volumes here. It's 4 GB size, use, available, percentage use, and look what they're mounted on. This is what they're mounted on. All right. But if I were to reboot this system, they would not persist at boot. They were not. So we want to configure persistent mounts. So like I said, if we reboot now, these mounts would disappear. So we must update the one directory. Remember last time, remember for the exam, that would be the /vi, all right, vi/etc and fstab. There you go. So does this look familiar from last time? All right. So now we can add these. We can add these. But let's go ahead and try to add these, with the IDs. So let's just get out of here. Quit. All right. Block ID. All right. The block ID. All right. So we can use the block ID. We can use that if we want, but I'm gonna do it. I did it at last time. this time I'm going to do it a different way. So going to clear this. All right, clear. All right. So let me go vi fstab. All right. So we're going to go in insert mode. All right. So we're going to place it right underneath. So what I'm going to do is, all right. So we're going to do /dev slash vg underscore nebula up nebula. All right. Slash lv underscore dev. I'm not underscore, but yeah. Dev, and then we're going to tab. All right, then to slash, making sure we mount them /projects. All right. Um, excuse me 1 second. And 1 second. All right. All right. All right. Second. ID. All right. So now, let's see here. So see if I can get this. You know what? I am not going to do it this way. I am going to do it the engineering way because I'm gonna change my mind. Okay, let's uh let's go ahead and um let's go ahead and exit out of here. Let's escape. All right. Oh, no, escape. Quit. Okay. Uh, Q. All right. All right. So let's go use this. We're gonna do this in engineering way. So if you notice here, we're gonna use it the /dev slash uh slash I don't know, we're gonna mapper, use this /mapper. So we're going to use, if you noticed here, we're going to use this one here, this block here, and then we're going to use this one here. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead and I am going to here, going to the UID, see how that map this into the NVM tab. Let's go ahead. I am going to copy this block on a notepad. So I'm going to copy this 1 second to a notepad. And all right. All right. Then I want to map this one here. Here. All right. Copy that one. All right. All right. Now let's go ahead and clear that one. And vi this is tab, insert mode. All right. All right. So we're gonna use the UID. So let's go ahead and now All right, so we're going to do this by the UID. So let me go ahead and copy this. Copy the UID. All right, and do not put the quotes in here. So make sure I take these quotations out of here before I paste them in here. Before I do that. All right. All right. So this is typically the engineering way you want to do this. So let's copy. All right. Let's copy. All right. Copy that. Well, tab. All right. So we want to put, now we want to put the block size. So capitalize. So let's say block size. All right. Block size. Oh, let me take the quotes on out of here. All right. Block size. All right. I think I have. Oh, don't need to do that. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, oh, 0. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So we're going to do that. So we're going to do the UID for the logs. So this is the one I'm putting is for the logs. So then we want to point it to slash projects. Oh, keep capitalizing projects. All right. Slash logs. All right. File system xfs. All right. Defaults. Defaults. All right. 0, 0. All right. And then we're going to do the one for the dev, for div. So we're going to copy the UID. All right. Copy the UID. Again, going to point to the path, projects, slash dev. So we're going to point to the slash dev. Oh, yeah. Slash dev. And then XFS, XFS, defaults, defaults, 0 dash 0. All right. So that is how you want to do this. So what we're going to do is escape. We're going to save, right? Save this. WQ, save it. All right. So we did that. So we mounted it. Everything's been mounted. So we're going to test the configuration. So we want to always test this before rebooting. So exactly. So now if we want to make this persistent. So all we want to do here, so 1 second, guys. Trying to, I'm kind of acting funny here. Acting little here. All right. All right. All right. So what we're going to do is run a mount. All right, dash A. All right. Mount all. All right. So So let's go ahead and reboot the system. Let's reboot. 1 second. Shouldn't take too long. So we are rebooting. All right. And excuse me, guys, my system's been kind of lagging. Been kind of lagging since last night. So, all right, wait me a few minutes and it will, let's see what it looks like here. Let's see. It should be popping up in a second. There we go. All right, so we're going to log in. I'll log in my password. I'm using the super user. And real world, we don't want to do this, but it's just for testing purposes. So, all right, should be coming up. Oh, coming up. So, all right. So let's go into the terminal. But definitely when you guys like when you're mounting it, always best practice to mount using the UID. So let's go ahead and just look at something here. Let's look at all right, all right, that's lsblk. All right. As you can see, these have been mounted here, and there's 3 different ways you can verify. We're going to use lsblk. We can use df-h. We use df-h if you see here, or lvs. There it is. Solved. You see the logical volumes we recreated. So these are different commands you can use to verify. Make sure when on the exam, always verify. You're gonna always verify everything. So let's check out the let's look at the fstab. There you go. See? So this is where you want to add this in if you want to make it persistent. But without these entries, once you reboot the system, there will be these will be the mounts will be gone. So again, so this is something that definitely want to make sure you practice and practice and practice on. All right. So again, if you ever want to find what the black ID is, you want to be just blk ID, and this will show you just no different than the partition lab. It's just a little different than it is, but it's the same thing. And now, now also we want to make sure you can always test. Let's say if you want to mount first, and then you want to run the sudo mount -a option. And if no error appears, the configuration is correct. Um, you can always verify by using the commands we just used. So, or another thing too, how about this? If you ever want to sit there referring to the block ID, you can always do, you know, blk ID, then you can pipe it to and you want to use grep, and let's just say vg underscore nebula, um, nebula, for example, here it is. So these are the two ones we mapped here. So that's another way to use that if you don't want to read through all this, but this is what I probably should have showed you before. But I hope you guys definitely got something out of this one, and I hope this helped anybody as I'm going through my RHCSA journey. So I thank you guys for again joining me. Thank you guys. You guys have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye bye.